Respect is not a reward for being a good person. It is not something you receive because you are kind, polite, or helpful. In the harsh reality of social hierarchy, respect is a tax that others pay to your presence. If you are not receiving it, it's because you haven't enforced the law. Law 1. The law of absolute competence. Respect begins with utility. Throughout history, the most respected figures were not the ones who were the kindest, but the ones who were the most capable. In a crisis, no one cares about your personality. They care about your ability to solve the problem. Competence is a form of silent violence against mediocrity. When you become an expert in your field, whether it's high-level strategy, technical mastery, or physical dominance, you create a vacuum that only you can fill. This is called the specialist's leverage. The world respects what it cannot easily replace. If your skill set is common, your respect will be common. To command true authority, you must possess a lethal skill, something so refined that others feel a slight sense of unease in its presence. Don't seek to be good. Seek to be undeniable. Law 2. The law of the unyielding border. A man without boundaries is like a house without walls. Anyone can wander in and desecrate it. Many people pride themselves on being easygoing or flexible, but in the language of respect, flexible often translates to disposable. You must understand the broken window theory of social interaction. If a building has one broken window that isn't fixed, people will soon break the rest. If you allow one small disrespect, a joke at your expense, a blatant disregard for your time, you are signaling that the windows of your dignity are open for smashing. Setting a boundary isn't an emotional act, it's a tactical one. You don't need to get angry. In fact, anger shows that they have affected you. True power is setting a boundary with total emotional neutrality. A cold, steady gaze and a simple statement of fact are more terrifying than a scream. Show them exactly where the line is and make sure the cost of crossing it is higher than they are willing to pay. Law 3. The law of the weighted word. Silence is the ultimate weapon of the powerful. There is a psychological phenomenon where the person who speaks the least in a room is perceived as the most influential. Why? Because they are the only ones not desperate for the airtime. When you over-explain, you are submissively asking for permission. When you fill every silence with nervous chatter, you are broadcasting your insecurity. The person who is comfortable with silence communicates that they do not need your validation to feel secure. Think of your words as a high-value commodity. If a central bank prints too much money, the currency loses value. If you print too many words, your voice loses its weight. Speak only when your words are better than the silence. When you finally do speak, make sure it hits like a gavel, not like a suggestion. Make them wait for your opinion. Make them earn your insights. Law 4. The law of emotional stillness. The world is chaotic, and most people are slaves to their reactions. They are triggered by the news, by their boss, by a comment on the internet. They are like leaves in the wind. A man who commands respect is the anchor in the storm. This is the law of imperturbability. When you refuse to react emotionally to provocation, you demonstrate a terrifying level of self-control. It suggests that you have resources, mental or physical, that the other person cannot see. In a conflict, the first person to lose their temper is the first person to lose the respect of the room. By remaining calm, you force the other person to wrestle with their own instability. Your stillness becomes a mirror that reflects their weakness back at them. Practice the 3-second rule. When someone provokes you, wait 3 seconds before responding. In those 3 seconds, you regain your crown. Law 5. The law of the clean exit. This is the most difficult law to master, but it is the one that grants the most power. You must be willing to walk away from any deal, any relationship, and any situation that does not serve your standards. Respect is born from the knowledge that you cannot be bought and you cannot be trapped. If you are afraid to lose someone or something, they have power over you. They can sense your neediness, and neediness is the poison of respect. The person who is most willing to leave holds the most leverage in any negotiation. This is called outcome independence. When you walk into a room, knowing that you are perfectly fine walking out alone, your presence changes. You're no longer a seeker, you are an observer. True authority belongs to the man who is his own greatest asset. Law 6. The law of absolute reliability. Reputation is the shadow cast by your character. You cannot fake respect over the long term if your character is hollow. The law of reliability states that your authority is directly proportional to the consistency of your actions. Most people are flaky. They make promises they don't keep and set goals they never reach. When you become the man whose word is as solid as concrete, you become a rare anomaly in a soft world. If you say you will do something, it must be done, regardless of how you feel. Respect is built on the predictability of your excellence. When people can rely on your word without question, they stop trying to manage you and start following you. Your integrity is the foundation upon which your empire of respect is built. Don't let a single crack appear in it. Law 7. The law of non-submissive presence. Before you speak, your biology has already introduced you. The human brain is a master at reading status signals. Most people occupy space submissively. They make themselves small. They fidget, they blink too often, and they tilt their heads in a please accept me gesture. To command authority, you must reclaim your physical sovereignty. Take up space. Slow down your movements. A man in a rush is a man who is not in control of his time. A man who moves with deliberate, slow intent communicates that he owns the environment. Maintain eye contact until the other person looks away first. Not in a hostile way, but in a way that shows you are comfortable with the tension. Stop nodding your head like a toy to show you're listening. A simple, steady gaze is far more powerful. Your body is the vessel of your authority. If the vessel looks weak, the contents will be ignored. Respect is not a destination. It is a state of being that you must maintain every single day. The world will constantly test you. People will push your borders, try to break your silence, and attempt to trigger your emotions just to see if you are real. You have the laws. You have the code. Now you have a choice. You can go back to being the nice guy who is quietly resentful of his own invisibility. Or you can embrace the weight of these laws and become the force you were meant to be. If you have stayed until the final second, you are part of the 1% who actually seeks true transformation. Prove your commitment. Comment below with "I am the bear." Let it be your first act of unyielding presence. Like this video to signal the algorithm that this content matters. Subscribe to the channel to sharpen your mind for the battles ahead. The hierarchy is waiting for you to take your place. Until next time.